My name is Zinlo Wilson. I'm the manager of Faith and Community Development for Habitat for Humanity GTA. A little bit about our organization. We are a nonprofit affordable housing agency. We operate in over 100 countries around the world, over 3,000 communities around the world, and we began in 1976 at a little farm outside of Atlanta, Georgia, a little town called Americus, Georgia. That farm was called Koinonia Farm, and it's Greek for community. And they decided to strike a pilot project whereby they build affordable housing for the 62 members of the farm. They did that with donated volunteer time, donated materials, donated funds, and then they financed the cost of the build through mortgages that each of these members paid over 25 years. And that was a no-profit mortgage, so they just covered the cost to build, and more importantly, no interest. So they covered only the principal amount to build these homes. They didn't they weren't beholden to interest payments.
So it's kind of like only for the materials.
Exactly. We happen to be a Christian-founded organization. Our business model, no profit, no interest, is right out of the book of Leviticus, basically. So now, since 1976, we've built just under 1 million houses across the world, which has provided shelter for about 3.2 million people in the world. More locally, Habitat's been in operation here in Canada since 1985, and most locally here in the GTA since 1988. So we've built roughly 270 houses since 1988. And one of our goals is to put ourselves in a position such that we can build an additional 100 houses per year by 2020.
Can you give us your mission statement? Can you explain it a little bit?
But basically our mission is to mobilize the community around building houses and championing affordable home ownership as a means to breaking the cycle of poverty.
Okay, so what kind of values are important to this charity?
Well, we have a list of values. And one of them, I will say, would be kind of the dignity of the human. So one of the ways we differentiate ourselves from many other charities, and this is not to disparage those charities, is that it's very much as offering what we call a hand up as opposed to a hand out. We enable these families to build homes, and then we enable these families to apply what small income they have stretched out over a period of time such that they can then afford the cost to build these homes. So human dignity would be the big value for us. Another one would be diversity and inclusivity. So we've seen that the need for affordable housing is a universal human need, and we think the ability to address it is a universal ability. So we partner with a number of different faith groups, a number of different cultural groups, so businesses, as well as churches, mosques, synagogues, school groups, government officials, all in partnership to sort of address the need for affordable housing. And finally, that affordable housing should be a human right. We observe it as such, that everybody deserves a simple, decent, affordable place to live.
Sure. And so what kind of work does your charity do? It's like you build houses, you help out families that they're needy, and you go and you get a bunch of volunteers and you just build up affordable homes.
Yeah, that's it in a nutshell. So in lieu of a cash down payment, we ask our families to commit to 500 hours of sweat equity. They can build their own home, they can build a neighbor's home, they can work in our restore locations, they can do administrative work. There are a number of ways to fulfill the 500 hours. So again, we don't build for the families per se, we build with the families. They're there themselves pretty much every day, contributing to the construction of their house.
And so what kind of reactions do you get for your efforts? Do you have any stories that you personally have heard or experienced of people that you help?
Well, there's one, so it's interesting, there's one partner family, when they initially applied for us, it was a husband and wife who were both blind. And they set about fulfilling their 500 hours of sweat equity, which is a challenge on the onset because they can't see, right? But the thing that moved me most about Brian is as they did their 500 hours, his wife took ill and she passed away. He continued to do the 500 hours, insisted on doing them all himself. He didn't want others doing hours and donating them to him. But that dignity that he came with in support of himself was just so motivating.
So your efforts for this charity, they're obviously very great. You obviously help out a lot. So what kind of differences has Habitat for Humanity made in the community so far?
So we know that having seen the need for affordable housing around the world, there are roughly 1 billion people estimated in the world who contend with some form of unsustainable or inadequate housing. And these families being generally low income don't have the financial wherewithal to lift themselves out of that need. But we've seen that with volunteer labor, donated materials and funds, we can, through our no profit, no interest model, help these families. And we've seen that once they take occupancy of these homes, they can then concentrate on things like academics, professional development, et cetera, such that they can then not only build equity in the ownership of the homes, but then see an increase in their income on top of that, so that they can put themselves in a better position to care for their children, save, things like that. And we do all of that with the help of the community through donations and volunteerism.
So does Habitat for Humanity have any major sponsors?
Sure. So nationally, we have a number of corporate sponsors. Home Depot is a longtime partner of Habitat. Genworth is a longtime partner of Habitat. Locally, we have a number of banks and corporations, Enbridge, Kijiji, as well as faith groups. We have a number of, United Churches are a huge supporter of Habitat. In fact, the United Church, there was a United Church pastor who brought Habitat to Canada. He went to a Habitat project in Haiti, came back so inspired that he wanted to bring it to this country.
And what was his name?
His name was George Anderson.
So how can people donate and contribute to this project?
Mm-hmm. So there are a number of ways. Cash donations we always look for as sort of the lifeblood of what we do. They could consider an individual gift. They could go right to our website, it's habitatgta.ca. They can make that donation. They could consider monthly donations, which really help because that sort of gives us a steady cash flow. They could volunteer. We build year-round, and people are more than welcome to come out as individuals or as a group to come out and build with us.
Right. So if you guys were to receive the $1,200 grant that comes with this YPI project, if we get chosen,
Sure.
how would you guys spend it? How would you
So
use
right now, our most immediate need is to complete a site that's currently underway in Scarborough. It's at the corner of Brimley and Lawrence, just opposite Thompson Memorial Park. It's a 15-home unit, 15 semi-detached homes. The families have been assigned and are currently working to fulfill their 500 hours so that they can move in 2015. So the grant that would come by way of YPI would help complete that project.
it? All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good talking to you.
So we've been here for 3 years now. This is a purpose-built building, and I'll give you a tour here. So we store a number of construction items, mostly like tools and like things that we would need all the time on the construction site. Materials such as lumber, brick, things like that. This is called our Restore Design. So this is sort of furniture, appliances, decorative items, things like that. And that's kind of it in a nutshell.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, and have a good night.
Awesome. Thank you.